Excuse me, have you seen my son? His name's Andrew. Simon, Excuse me, sir, if you'll wait just a second, if you could just direct me to a counselor or a principal or someone that I can talk to about this whole mess. I'll get out of your hair. Oh. The principal didn't make it. All right, I guess I'll just have to keep looking. Have you seen my son? Can someone help me, please? I need help. School shootings are a fear that live at the back of most American students' minds as a terrifying possibility of a tragedy that can befall them when they are simply trying to get an education. From Sandy Hook to Columbine to Virginia Tech to Uvalde, these happen year after year, decade after decade, and every single time we as a nation ask ourselves, how could this have been prevented? In If Only I Had Known by Elise Sharron, we take a look at a unique perspective, the perspective of a mother of a student affected by school shootings, and we attempt to answer the question that has plagued our nation for decades. How could this have been prevented? I was born on July 1st, 1979. I married my husband on August 27th, 2001, and I gave birth to Andrew on December 1st, 2002. There are some dates in our lives that we will never forget, things that are etched into our memories, not intentionally, but subconsciously. Think of them as the important moments of our existence. I have a new one. It's September 6th, 2015, at 9:06 a.m. to be exact. School had just started up a few weeks prior, and Andrew was beginning his first year of middle school, 7th grade. I will be the first to say, God bless the teachers and the counselors and the administrators and anyone involved in the educational system. There are just some jobs on this planet that I am not capable of doing. I don't have the patience, but I do appreciate those who do them. Many people say that the job of the housewife is a difficult one as well, being responsible for the day-to-day of the household and the upbringing of the children. I was responsible for teaching Andrew right from wrong. My husband and I never necessarily planned on having children, but when I found out that I was pregnant, my entire life changed. It's unexplainable, really, to feel every little breath and to know that because of me and my sacrifices, Andrew was able to survive. Because of me. Anyways, the morning of September 6th, I was in the kitchen cutting the stems off of some strawberries when I heard an alert from my phone. I went over, I checked it out. On September 6th, 2015, as of 9:06 a.m., there is an active shooting at Summers Middle School. We have law enforcement on the scene. Parents, please stay off campus. We will give you updates as we receive them. May God be with you. What the hell do they expect me to do? How am I, as a mother, supposed to just sit back and relax and watch the TV as my baby is in a school that is currently being shot up? But I go over, I turn on the TV, and I check it out. And there's a news reporter on the scene, and there's teachers and parents and students outside. But no, Andrew. And he was wearing a bright red shirt that day. It said no on it. He should be very visible, but I don't see him. And every single voice inside my head was screaming at me, Susan, get your ass to that school and go find Andrew and give him the biggest hug and tell him how much you love him, how special he is, and how much he means to you. But my feet were locked to the floor. Because if I take my eyes off that screen for a second, there's a chance I might miss him. And that's what you want to do. As a parent, you want to believe that your kid is the one that survived. But then I get to thinking, what if he is bleeding out on the floor of that school right now, wishing he just had the energy to say, help me. Have you seen my son, Andrew Simon? He's in the 7th grade about this fall. Excuse me, ma'am, have you seen my son? His name's Andrew Simon. And then a woman turned to me. What did you say your son's name was? His name's Andrew Simon. He's in 7th grade. How dare you? How dare you stand shoulder to shoulder with the rest of us who are trying to grieve and find out if our kids survived the hail of bullets that your monster rained down on him? You don't deserve to call yourself a mother. You deserve to burn in hell with your demon. My son is not a monster. He's a good kid with a lot of energy, and sure, he's a little different, but he did not do this. And I just wanted to explain that I love my son as all you people love your children. But before I could, I saw 6 adult fists huddled around me, backing me into a corner. And they broke my fingers. They dislocated my jaw. They broke my knees. Blood pooled beneath me. And with 3 final blows to the head, I slipped into a coma. On September 6th, 2015, at 9:06 a.m., my son, Andrew Simon, went to his middle school with 2 guns. 2 guns that he had stolen from a friend's father at a sleepover. He killed 10 people that day. 8 boys that had been bullying him for years, his principal, and his gym teacher. I had no idea. 2 weeks prior, he had been in the locker room and he was showering, and they started filming him, and he was so scared he peed on himself, and he begged them to stop, and they didn't. And they sent the video to people who turned around and sent it to even more people until everyone had seen my son like that. Everyone except me. He did leave a letter. Dear Mom and Dad, I am so sorry. I knew that no one would ever love me, and I wouldn't have friends or a girlfriend, and that this was the only way to show the world that I wasn't that crying freak afraid in the bathroom. I couldn't sleep for weeks. I had nightmares about it. And I am so sorry. I hope that you and Dad never see that video. I was haunted by their laughter for weeks, but I think it'll be quiet tomorrow. My hope is that I will be able to find him and give him that hug and tell him how much I love him and how special he is and how much he means to me. But I guess until then, I'm just gonna have to keep looking. This is my son. His name is Andrew. Simon, have you seen him?